Are you ready to be time machined? Are you ready to be entertained? Well, if you're ready to ride, I'm ready to drive. So hop your inside. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and music lovers worldwide, welcome back to Sensational Singles. Yeah, I'm your humble host, the Lord Nelson, that is. And of course, you know this episode is brought to you by the CROWNCAST Network in association with 5 Royals ENT. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a show where we celebrate the songs that have stood the test of time and continue to move our hearts, minds, bodies, and souls. And today, we're stepping into a world of desire, temptation, heartbreak, and that dangerous space between wanting somebody and knowing that wanting them may cost you everything. Today, we're talking about a song that doesn't have to scream to get your attention. It whispers. It haunts. It seduces. And then it leaves you sitting there asking yourself, why do we sometimes want the very thing we know might hurt us? Today on Sensational Singles, we're talking about Wicked Game by Chris Isaak. Yeah. Now, released in 1989 as part of Chris Isaak's album Heart-Shaped World, Wicked Game is one of those songs that seems to exist outside of time. It doesn't sound like it belongs to one particular decade. No, it could be played in 1989, 99, 2009, 2019, or today, and it still feels right. That's the mark of a sensational single. Woo-hoo. The production is minimal. The guitar has that dream-like surf rock quality. The drums feel distant. And Chris Isaak's vocals sound almost like he's singing from the other side of a broken heart. Yeah. There's space between the notes, and that space is so important because Wicked Game isn't a song about somebody having all the answers. Nah, it's a song about being completely confused by desire, which many of you have been. Yeah. Now, let's talk about Wicked Game in that title, right? What a phrase. Because sometimes love doesn't feel like a beautiful fairy tale. Sometimes it feels like a game where you know the rules, you know the possible consequences, and yet you play anyway. That's what makes this song so human. Now, Chris Isaak captures that moment when attraction overrides logic. Your mind says, be careful. Your heart says, nah, go, 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 go. Your soul says, this could be trouble, trouble. And your emotions say, I don't care. That's the Wicked Game. Yo, when I said in trouble, I thought about Bernie Mac in the Players Club when he was telling Jamie. Anyway, now one of the most powerful things about this song is that it doesn't sound like a traditional love song. There's no big romantic declaration, no huge production, no wall of sound. Instead, there's this almost empty musical landscape. And that empty space creates loneliness. The guitar sounds like it's floating through the night, and the vocals are held back. They're restrained. They're calm but strong. And the whole record feels like a memory you're not quite ready to let go of. That's why this song hits so hard. Because sometimes the most painful moments in love aren't the loud ones, yo. They are the quiet ones, the ones where you're all by your damn self, thinking, remembering, and wondering what could have been. Have you been there? Yeah, you've been there. I feel your pain, yo. And then there's that voice of Chris Isaak, man. He doesn't sing Wicked Game like he's trying to outpower the music. Nah, he sings it with comfort, yet with vulnerability, with a little bit of pain. And that makes it feel so real. Yes, there's something almost dangerous about a vocal performance that doesn't try too hard. Because when an artist leaves room for the listener, you and I, we fill that space with our own experience. And that's exactly what happens here. You hear the song and you start thinking about your own wicked game. Your own what if, your own person, your own memory, your own love that maybe should have been left alone, but wasn't. Now we have to talk about that video also, right? If you know it, you know it, and you know what I'm talking about, right? Because the video for Wicked Game became almost as iconic as the song itself. It was in black and white. You had the ocean as a backdrop, the beach, the beautiful and surreal imagery, and the presence of model Helena Christensen, which she was, I don't know, man. She looks like she could possibly kill you, man. It was just a dark, haunting type feel looking in her eyes, man. It was just strange, but she was perfect for the song. The visuals complement the song perfectly. It feels like a dream or maybe a fantasy, and that's the point. Because Wicked Game isn't really about a perfect love. It's about the magnetism of something you know you may not be able to have. The video takes that feeling and turns it into something you can see. Desire, beauty, distance, and once again, vulnerability, all playing out against the ocean. So you may ask, what makes Wicked Game a sensational single? Well, let me tell you. To me, it's simple and has atmosphere that you can feel. It doesn't just play. It creates a world that is dark, romantic, mysterious, and a little dangerous. That's hard to do, actually. Lots of songs talk about love. Lots of songs talk about heartbreak. Lots of songs talk about desire. But very few songs make you feel like you walked into the middle of someone else's dream. Wicked Game does that. Yes, it does. And here's another reason this song deserves to be on Sensational Singles. It wasn't an instant phenomenon. Nah, the song was originally released in 1989. But it took time to find us. After appearing on the 1990 film Wild at Heart, the song began receiving greater attention. Then the music video helped push it even further into the public consciousness to another level, man. And eventually, the song became the hit many of us know today. That's an important part of music history. Sometimes a great song doesn't arrive with a big bang. Sometimes it sneaks up on the world, yeah. And then one day, everybody realizes the song is special. I feel this song has the magic of simplicity. Just listen to the arrangement. There isn't a lot going on in this song, and that's exactly why it works to me. The guitar, the drums, the vocals, the atmosphere, the space. Everything has a purpose. Nothing is fighting for your attention. And that's something modern music can sometimes forget. You don't always need more. Sometimes You need less, less production, less noise, less distraction, and more feeling. Wicked Game has just that. And here's where this song really lives. Emotion, emotion, because you can hear the conflict. You can hear the attraction. You can hear the fear. You can hear the regret. And you can hear that little voice inside saying, I know this isn't good for me, but still I want it. That is human nature. Why? Tell them that. I'm everywhere, yo. We are not always logical creatures. Sometimes we chase what we know we should walk away from. Sometimes we fall for people who just aren't any damn good for us. Sometimes we know the ending before the story even starts, and yet we turn the page. That's why this song still connects. So, Lord Nelson, you may ask, what's the verdict, bro? Is Wicked Game by Chris Isaak a sensational single? I've already said that, but without question, this isn't just a song. It's a mood. It's a memory. It's a midnight drive. It's an empty room. It's the soundtrack to a love you can't explain. And it's proof that sometimes the most powerful music isn't the music that shouts the loudest. I say that a lot, but that's real deal. Sometimes it's the music that whispers directly into your soul. Wicked Game is timeless, a song that outlives trends. It's music that can transport you back to a place, a person, a feeling, or a moment with just a few unbelievable notes. That is the power of music, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why Wicked Game, to me, and to you also, is a sensational single. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and music lovers worldwide, until we meet again, keep your heart open, keep your ears open, keep your mind open, and most importantly, keep the music playing. Thank you all for taking the time to spend some time. And until next time, remember, music, no matter the genre, is the greatest. And Time Machine, we know. And remember also, man, keep getting lifted on music. You guys be good. Take care. Peace. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters worldwide, thank you so much for tuning into Sensational Singles. Yeah. And yo, every Monday and Thursday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern, you'll have a new amazing sensational single that is going to time machine you and make you feel so good. I am the Lord, Nelson that is, and I thank you so much, so very much for being a part of this. And remember, this is brought to you by the CROWNCAST Network in association with 5 Royals ENT. Once again, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Peace. Woo! Yeah.